Hey, if you're watching this video, I hope you are holding up okay through the holidays. We're about, I don't know, a quarter of a way through the holiday season. By the time you see this, we might be not that far out from the new year. And I know that this is an incredibly stressful time for families who are in the midst of a transition or contemplating a transition. And it's even more stressful, I think, for those of you who are thinking about, what the new year might hold for your family, but you haven't talked to your spouse about that yet. But what I can tell you is that if you are so unhappy that you are almost ready to verbalize this idea of moving in separate directions, getting a divorce, your spouse, even though they, obviously will probably be reluctant at first and resistant to that idea, they 100% of the time get on board. So I say, like, if you're so unhappy that you're willing to say those words, which are really the most life-changing of decisions, the other person can't be in a relationship that is truly making them happy either. I really do believe it's a two-way street. So don't worry so much about that. Like, they're not going to want to hear it, but if we approach it the correct way and really kind of give them time to adjust emotionally and really stress the idea that you're going to want to just transition your family into two households, not like throw a bomb in your life and, dismantle everything, but really go about this calmly and then mean it, right? You have to be consistent in that message. Your spouse will relax. And, if you're thinking about this at the holidays, the one thing I can tell you is just making a decision, like coming into the new year and feeling like, you know what? I know for sure that next year at this time, my family is going to be in a healthier, happier place. That actually can help you feel really pretty energized, not any less scared, right? You're still going to have some, maybe more than some, but some fear until you feel like you have a plan, you know what the roadmap is for going forward. But that's easy enough to figure out. I really think that the decision and knowing that it's real this time, that you're not changing your mind, you're not slipping back into that unhealthy status quo, that actually is incredibly liberating for people. And it really does, like, really energize you and really fortify you for whatever steps, might lay ahead, right? So there is a lot of value to be placed on really feeling like you've made a decision that's going to put your happiness first, which sounds selfish, but honestly, if it's like the old adage, right? If mom's not happy, nobody is happy. And that really is true, but it goes for both parents. If kids have unhappy parents, it's your household is unhappy. And even though you might be like, quote unquote, intact, you're modeling really unhealthy relationship patterns for your kids. So again, there's a lot of freedom that comes with that. The other piece is that it's really, the longer you stay together, the more complicated your financial picture might get. And that's something that you can easily, talk through kind of the decision making around that with me or somebody like me. But just keeping in mind that, especially if there's kind of significant issues coming up, like retirements coming up or kids going to college, or the housing market is on everyone's mind, those things can actually sometimes be made a little bit more complicated as time goes on. So you might want to think through what some of that looks like. But the other really important part, especially if you're part of like my family transitions family, people who watch my blogs and listen to my videos, I know that we all have the mindset of we know we need to do what's best for our family, and we want that process to minimize the harm for everybody, right? The really the trauma that's involved. And so if you're thinking that you might want to be making a change in the new year and you can get through the holidays peacefully and you guys can kind of do your normal things, that's actually great. It's a data point, so to speak, for when you do talk to your spouse. You can say like, I've been thinking about this for a while, but look how we got through the holidays this year. That's really what I envision for us moving forward. I want us to be a family and really be able to share these family experiences. Obviously, as you get into it, and the plan really unfolds, there might be different boundaries. But the bottom line is that if you are able to maintain a peaceful environment in your house right now, believe me when I tell you, this is the most stressful that it would get, right? And so you can really kind of feel, I don't know if good is the right word, but you can totally feel confident that, hey, we handled this. It's only actually going to get easier from here as we have a plan, as things unfold. And so getting through the holidays, either if you talk to your spouse before or after, getting through those holidays in a way that models for your kids, look, this is the kind of family we're going to be. We're going to be able to spend this time together, and it's not going to be, what everyone fears, where mom and dad can't talk to each other or be in the same house. So it really actually, as stressful as you might think it is as you sit here today, it really becomes an opportunity to model for your spouse and for your kids what your future could really look like, right? So the last piece of the puzzle that I want you to think about is that just because you have decided to divorce and it's the holidays, right? And you might think, oh, we're not going to make any changes right now. And that's absolutely true. But what you might want to do is just start thinking through what your action plan is going to be come January. And, there's actually what they call a divorce season, so to speak. And it obviously is typically January. It's sort of January and June because the kids are out of school. So people wait to get through the holidays and they wait to get through the school year. And then they're ready to start making a change. Keeping that in mind, it makes sense, right? If you're working with me and the program is 6 months, if you're in my full program, it's 6 months about for most families. It's designed to take that long. If you start in January, you will most certainly be in 2 houses and really having the summer to get everyone adjusted to what this new pattern is for your family over the summer months. So it actually works out really, really well. And again, you're not making any sudden changes. You get through the holidays and you tell your spouse, I want us to start thinking about our next steps. And if we start figuring this out now, by the summer, we'll know what we're doing with the house and we'll know how the co-parenting is going to look. So really give yourself time to settle into the idea and, think of it as a transition. But as long as you take that first step, you will get to the finish line. It's the getting stuck in, fear and stuck in the status quo, which is bad and just prolongs and actually makes the situation more toxic as time goes on. So just because it's the holidays doesn't mean you have to put the whole thing on hold. You do what's best for your family, but start getting your head clear about what you would like next steps to look like. So just know that you can get through this and that each holiday season gets better and better and the traditions fall into place and you will be able to build that happy future that you're probably dreaming of if you're watching this video. So hang in there. Thanks.